Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to do a file folder pocket fold down. This would be a good scrap project. So I saw this on Facebook and I can't remember who shared it on there. I tried to find it again, but I couldn't find it. So this is what we're going to do today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you like my video, I just ask for a thumbs up and check out my other ones. Now let me see where my ruler is. I have stuff everywhere. All right, so this is just a cutoff from a file folder. So that's what the size is. The width is what I went with. So mine is 4 1/8, and then from the tab to the bottom is like 6 3/4. So what I had to do was make my tab, cut this end off straight. So this part here, the front part is actually let me see, 6 1/4. So from the top to the fold on the front is 6 1/4. So this is how your file folder folds. So from the crease, if you thought it was easier to do it that way, you could do 6 1/4 and cut this off straight. And then I had to make my tab because it wasn't there. Like I say, this was a leftover. So 6 3/4 to the top of my tab. Now what I did for my tab, I just had, because I keep scraps, I had this little piece here. So I just set it on my file folder and I drew around it. Then I brought it over here and I drew down here to get this part. You just make this as wide as you want it, and then I just finished drawing the straight line. So you want to cut this off straight. That's all you have to do if you don't have the tab on there. So you want this straight across here. And then this is going to be your back piece. Now it doesn't matter if you have it on the right side or the left side. If you want it on the left side, all you have to do is turn it over. Okay, so I went ahead and inked everything. So I cut mats for this. I cut them out of this paper. I have everything marked so I get the right piece on the right, because all I did was left a little tiny bit of a border around. So we'll say on this front one, I cut it at it's actually 3 15/16. So you could go 3 7/8 if you wanted. And 6 1/8, but you really don't have to measure it. Just lay your paper on there, make a little mark where you want to cut it, and make a mark down here at the bottom, and then just trim your paper, because it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be hard. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. I'm going to add pockets at the bottom. Well, not on the front. Sorry, I'll take that back. On the inside and on the back, I'm going to add pockets. And this would be good for, now if you wanted to glue it in to your journal, all you have to do is cover the front and the inside, and you could leave your back blank. But at first I kind of thought that's what I wanted to do. But then the more I thought about it, the more I thought maybe I would want it as a standalone. So you can put it in a pocket, or you can just paper clip it in, anything like that. Make a belly band, put it under a belly band. So I'm going to back the pockets, or I'm going to mat the back and put a pocket on there also. So now on the inside, this is my number 2. Now this is going to fold up. So when this folds down, I want my paper to be the right way. So this is going to fold up like this. When it folds up, it's going to be upside down, but I want it to fold down the right way. So then, let me turn it sideways so you can see both. So then these would look this way. It would look just like the pattern was flowing down your page. Okay? And if you don't have a file folder, you could use cardstock as long as it's long enough. Or if it's not long enough, you could splice 2 pieces together. What you would have to do is where your fold comes together, use another piece to hinge it, and you could have the 2 separate pieces hinged as a full piece. Let me move this up because I don't want to get off the camera. I like using file folders. This is not on straight. Of course, with the Dollar Tree raising their prices, they're not as cheap as what they used to be, but they're still pretty cheap to use. And some of your other stores and Walmart and Amazon sell great big bundles of them, but yeah, I haven't forced myself to buy one of them yet because I don't want to pay that much money for them. Now this is number 3, so I'm just going to put that on in the same direction. If I was making stuff every day with file folders, I would go for the great big packs of them because then it is way cheaper, but I don't use that many of them. So now I'm not going all the way up here to my tab. I'm going to leave it down some. Turn this a little bit, make sure I'm getting this even. Or as even as possible. Doesn't have to be perfect. Let's pull this down a little bit. Okay, so now we fold it up like this, and then when we fold it down, then we have our other 2 spaces. Now I'm going to turn it over to the back. Now on the back, I didn't want to print another piece of paper because this is just a printable and I've used it over and over and over. So I figured, because I'm going to put a pocket on the back of it, I would just make this piece short. So that's really all you have to do inside also. If you're going to put your pockets, just run it down a little bit past where your pocket's going to sit. I put a line so I would know where I want this to sit. And then you don't have to have, you only have to have a little tiny bit of your paper run past where your pocket's going to be. So you don't have to cover the whole thing. It's like covering it twice. You don't have to do that. Helps you save a little bit on paper. And that little bit that you save, you can use somewhere else. So that line there lets me, that line that I had drawn there, lets me go down below my pocket a little tiny bit. And that's all I really need. So now for my pockets. And I want to do a thumb notch in my pockets. Now see, I'm going to have that much of my paper going down below my pocket, so if you're looking in it, you're not going to see it. You're not going to see the file folder. So I want to cut a little thumb notch in them. Not going to cut it too far because I don't want to go past my paper that I have inside there. Just a little thumb notch. And I'll just ink that up a little tiny bit. And then I want to round my corners because I like my corners on the top of my pockets rounded. So I might as well do these also. And you don't have to round your corners, you can have them straight. And then I'll just ink these corners a little tiny bit. Okay. Now on my pocket, I'm just going to glue on the 3 sides. I just made it the same width as my mat. And let's see. I made them 2 3/8 inches long. So I'm just going to glue my 3 sides, trying to stay close to the bottom so I can fit my tags in. So there we go with that one. And I'm going to put my pockets all down and then we'll decorate them. And then I want this one here. So how's everyone doing today? Looks like it's going to rain outside. I think it's supposed to. Now I'm going to turn it around so the top of this is up because I want this to show this way. So this is the back, this is the front. So I wanted my pocket on the front to go down, pocket on the back to go down. So then when I fold it up, this is going to be my front. Then I'll open it up to a pocket and a pocket. Okay. Now I have this wide lace. I think this is the right side. And I'm just going to glue the lace down across here. Yeah, let me see. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. Let me put my pin in my other glue. And then I have just this little tiny bit if I can get it trimmed off. And if I can't, it doesn't really matter that it goes to the edge because it's not sticking over. So I might just, yeah, I can trim that little tiny bit there. And I think that's okay. And then I'll turn this around and we'll put a piece on that pocket. And let me see. This is the right way. Now, I think I want to just go ahead and trim this a little tiny bit before I put it on. That'll be good. This lace here, I got at a yard sale. Let me trim the top of this just a little tiny bit. Okay, now we'll go around to the back. Let's see if this needs trimmed a little bit. I generally try to cut my lace just a little tiny bit wider so I can trim it. Sometimes it's easier to trim than other times. So we'll leave that like that. Now, besides putting the lace on the pockets, I'm not going to put anything else on the pockets right now because I figure, you know, you can always finish decorating it when you're getting ready to add it into your journal. Okay, now let me see. On the front, oh, we got a little bit of glue going on in here. Make sure it's all dry. On the front, I'm going to put, well, up here first. Let's do this first. I'm going to put up here, give thanks. So we're going to have tags in here so you can write everything that you're thankful for. Or if you give it as a gift, you could write a little message and put in there for them, and they can fill the little tags in. I don't think that's completely centered, but that's okay. It'll work. All right. Let me pin my glue back up. Now up here at the top, I'm going to put another piece of this lace. And again, I'm going to trim it just a little bit. See what that looks like. Good. I'm gonna glue it right up to the top of my mat. Now you can leave it down some. You can put it in the center. You can put it wherever you'd like. And then on the front, besides this and what I'm going to put on the lace, I'm not decorating the front anymore. It's another one of them things you can decorate it when you get ready to use it. Now, the person that I seen this, they'd used a button, a big button. And like I said here a while back, I used a button for something, and I said that I rarely ever use buttons. Don't ask me why. Love buttons. So I thought on this one, well, I would just go ahead and use the button. So I thought this color here went good with the centers of the flowers and the background. And then these little berries. Don't ask me what they are. But I thought we would put them on here as a decoration. Hopefully I can, do this without my Fabri-Tac going wild. And I just inked it with the background color that I used, which is coffee. And then I inked it with a little bit of pink. So I think I want it something like that. Okay. Then I just used embroidery floss and just tied it in a knot. Quite a few strands. It might have been all 6 strands. Let me just hold that for a second. And we'll cap up my glue. What do you think so far? I think it's a cute little project. Now you don't have to have all of your pages matching like I did. If you're using scraps, you can mix your scraps up. All right, I think that button will be okay. So now we're going to put our excuse me, we're going to put our tags in our pockets. So this paper here is what I used for the pockets. So I used this paper on my bigger tags for each pocket. And then this paper is the mat on here. And I used that on a little bit smaller tag. So we're going to have 2 tags in each pocket. And I'm not going to decorate the tags up anymore. So we'll turn that around. And we have another long one. I tried to make for sure I didn't go over this edge. So we have that. So when we open it, you're going to have pockets. So isn't that cute? Such a cute idea. Then we'll turn it over to the back. And we have one tag that's a little bit shorter. Now I did these backwards because it was the paper that I had left over. So the longer tag got this, and the shorter tag got the pocket paper. And it doesn't really matter one way or the other. Then to hold it closed, I got a big safety pin. It's not a safety pin, it's a paper clip. And I kept trying to figure out what could I put on it to make it look gussied up a little bit. Well, this yarn, whatever you want to call it, it's called Glitz Knits. I got this from a yard sale a year or two ago. And it has green and browns and blues in it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now there's no blue in this, but it was attached, so you know, we got a little bit of blue. But we're just going to use this. We can put this right under our tag, and that'll hold it closed. And we have just this fancy and this up a little bit. The paper clip is not fancy if you know how to do it. I'm not real good at decorating these paper clips with stuff, but I thought that looked good. So if it's sitting in a pocket, you would have your paper clip holding it shut, or you can paper clip it to your page. Let's do that. So we'll just paper clip it to this page, and that would hold it shut. So when you turn it over, you're just going to see the paper clip on the back. Okay, so let me know down in the comments what you think. I think it turned out pretty cute. So that's our video for today. I hope you come back to see me for my next video. And until then, everyone, have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye for now.